stand for Africa.
I'm well on my journey, biggie mama, one A to Z. Party so on my journey, biggie mama, from east to west. Party waka my waka my Sangin sin sama zibuye, 'cause this is Africa.
Hi and welcome to Eckards. My name is Wayne Stewart and I'm from Eckards Garden Pavilion in Bedford View, which is on the eastern side of Johannesburg. Eckards has been a garden centre since the early 60s. My journey with Eckards started in 1993. I became a shareholder in 2008 and the sole owner in 2017. As a legacy garden centre, we are quite fortunate because we have strong roots within the community and we have a history that comes with that. A number of our shrubs, in fact, are over 40-50 years old in the garden centre in some of our displays. And whenever we post those pictures to social media, we regularly get our customers saying to us, I remember that, it's such a fond memory, and that's something that makes it quite special for us here at Eckards. At the same time, that gives us one of our challenges. We're trying to work within an old infrastructure, and in fact our core building, or our main building, was built in those early 60s with thick concrete walls and something that's not that easy for us to move. We've worked around that, and today we're going to give you a tour of that through the different clips that we've done. One of our biggest challenges has become one of our biggest strengths as a convenience garden centre. Our key thing that we try and do is turn our customers through the store as quickly as possible. We operate out of a 3,000 square metre retail selling space with another 2,000 square metres as our parking base. That limited parking bay is what actually is our biggest challenge. We find that we need to get people in, get them what they need, and get them out the store. That's why we don't have a coffee shop. We just can't afford to have somebody parked outside for half an hour while somebody's standing waiting for that bay to come free. One of the things we're most proud of is our staff. Here at Eckards, we've won the Staff Member of the Year award within the National GCA competition more times than any other garden centre in South Africa. It comes with a young team that's very enthusiastic. It's been a conscious effort of ours to bring our staff in younger and younger every time somebody retires. At the moment, over 80% of our staff are under the age of 35, which is something that adds a dynamic energy and a new way of thinking to our business. We work with a different team on weekends to our full-time team. On a Saturday and Sunday, we bring in juniors, most of which are at university or are at school. This young team adds a very different energy to the place, and we quite enjoy that. It changes the music, it changes the vibe, and at the same time our customers feel the different energy that comes through. One of the advantages with that is that it means that on a Monday through Friday, our permanent team come back well rested and can really focus on doing the basics of nursery maintenance as well as the selling that they do through those days of the week. One of the things that we like is the fact that over the years, some of the youngsters that started with us when they were still at school have now actually become doctors, lawyers, we've got a couple of geologists, all sorts of walks of life, but they've all gone on and come back to show us their children and shop with us now that they've actually grown up and have their own homes. With that said, it's time to take you on a tour of Eckards. Coming in from our car park, this is our entrance, where you get sweeping views of the garden centre and then are directed straight into our shop. As you can see, our shop's quite a tight space as you're coming through the door, but we do our best. We keep our displays quite neat and tidy, still giving a feeling of open space, because obviously everybody still has to walk through that. Colour displays that change continuously, quite focused, and we're also very careful as to what we put into our shop. We don't have a lot of space to market things that don't sell, so we focus on fast moving lines and volumes of those lines. From our shop we lead into our indoor plant section. It's still quite tight. With a staff complement of 10, 3 people work inside our shop. It's a very high turnover area. There's constantly stock that needs to come in, labelled, merchandised, and go straight back out the door again. On the end of our indoor plant section is our bird bar, one of our most popular departments, and a good example of how we've blocked our sections within our store. So you still get departments within departments. So that works quite well for us. The indoor plant section has actually become one of those areas where instead of carrying volume, we actually just carry a few and get them in every week so that people get the freshest stock continuously available. In here it's always Garden Day is something that we came up with after one of our recent IGCA tours, and that's become a bit of a motto for us. This is our insecticide shelf, and as you can see, it's quite a full shelf. We don't carry the whole range. We've picked the lines that work for us. We've trained our staff well on those and then rather sell volume instead of a broad range of stuff. Giftware, not our biggest department, but adds to the browse factor. So we enjoy that, and it constantly changes throughout the end of the garden centre. Here we are heading out into the back of the garden centre, through the shop and into our perennial and hard landscape apartments. We have this giant celtis or white Chinese nettle which has been there for over 30 years and now shades as a giant natural shade to give quite a nice atmosphere over the back of the garden centre, especially over our bonsai section which is located underneath it. Here at Eckards we have trolley bays throughout the garden centre. We don't just have one at the entrance. We found having one at the entrance just clutters our shop with all the noise coming through, so we've located them throughout the garden centre, so wherever you are, there's always a trolley bay nearby that can actually help you with that. I really like this view walking through our bonsai section, which we've recently just opened up to allow you to sort of peek out and come through from the different sides. Our perennial department, as well as our shrub, all our other shrub departments, we look at different ways of blocking. Here at Eckards we've created almost garden beds, too much of a discussion with the GCA evaluators. Instead of raising everything, we certainly have a garden feel. So if you're just in the nursery walking around browsing, it feels like you're browsing through a big garden. But at the end of the day, when you do decide to make a purchase, you can actually just pick out the items that you like. And we often see customers do exactly that. They stand on one side with a vantage point, and you can see they're imagining what does this look like in the garden bed, and they can see the different colours and textures and pick out just the things that they like. One of the big advantages to Eckards, which also allows us to do a lot of plant material not necessarily on benches, is the fact that Eckards is on 5 levels. So with 5 levels, it gives us an interesting feel and flow, because there's a number of vantage points that you can get to, where you're then standing over and above everything and looking down, going into the nursery. This is exactly one of those vantage points that comes out from our shop on the other side, giving you views of the perennial court down another different pathway, as well as across to our water-wise departments and to the trees beyond. That's our famous Brunsfelsia, the yesterday, today, tomorrow, which is already over 50 years old. As with many garden centres in mature areas, containers are huge here at Eckards. We sell loads of them, and we often joke, we wonder where everybody goes to with all these containers. As part of our key hardware line, containers are one of our top sellers, but hardware in general is actually a growing department for us. We run, over the years, it's been about a 60-40 split, with 60% green and 40% hard landscape and hard goods, but we've seen that slowly edge forward towards almost a 50-50 mix over the past few years. We're in our colour department here, which is basically our front of house, one of our biggest departments through the nursery. This is my favourite view of Eckards. As you come in, you get this vantage across, seeing all the colour, and it's something that changes continuously. And at this point, you're probably about 1.5 meters above floor level when you're looking down over the nursery. And we often see customers just standing at our entrance and just staring into the distance, which is always quite nice, because we know they've come to relax.
our seedling area, which is the biggest volume of customers that are in. Seedlings and outdoor colour runs at about 15% of annual turnover, so it's a very important part of the business for us. And we've kept it right up in front, and we believe that that partly gives us the success as to why it's doing so well. This is another view from the bottom of the nursery, looking back up towards the colour, and then it's in our food court, which is one of our busiest departments, or has become one of our busiest departments over recent years. After the South African hard lockdown, food gardening just exploded, as it did with most garden centres. People had a feeling of needing food security, and they were wondering what to do next, and the food garden, we just could not keep up out of our food garden. Once the food gardening slowed down, we saw that the colour department then picked up again. So food naturally leads into colour, which is an experience most of the garden centres have actually had. Our tree section has always been anchored by 3 beautiful ginkgos in the giant circle, and unfortunately, as beautiful as what they were, you'll see we've actually lost one, and about a month after their 20th birthday, Shotal Borer took one of the trees down, which is a big problem in our area, and a couple of months later we got struck by lightning and we lost the second one. So that's going to give us an opportunity for change and something different, even though it was quite sad for us to lose those trees that were quite a landmark in our neighbourhood. This is just a quick view into our water-wise department, which is a continuously changing department and fast-growing department for us. Here at Eckards, we believe in continuous marketing campaigns. So we permanently have something going, all tied in with posters, different storyboards, supported by point-of-sale material on each product line that goes through with that. We're part of the Garden Pavilion group, which is South Africa's largest group of independent garden centres, and we share this marketing concept and ideas with them. So throughout the year, continuous marketing campaigns, and then punctuated by big weekends. At Eckards, we like to call them crazy weekends. Our staff love them. We dress up, we have all sorts of fun. So with things like the Tomato Week, our birthdays, our big clearance sales, autumn sales, those are very big weekends for us here at Eckards. Of course, here at Eckards, we also have rewards clubs, which are quite big, but also very strong on social media. You'll find us at Eckards Garden on all platforms. Wherever you look for us, that's where you'll find us. We thought we'd end today's tour with our logo development from 1993 to where we are today, and just to say thank you for being with us at Eckards.
Jerusalema, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalema, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana.